Good afternoon, everybody. We have a beautiful, beautiful afternoon here today in Colorado. So for those of you local people, it's kind of walking weather, I think, even. I mean, it's a little chilly, but it's nice.
It's nice.
Hi, Kat. So welcome. We'll give people a few minutes to get on here. Paula is, hi, Miss Mary. Paula is going to work on her 7 stars today. I think it's time to finish it up.
It's time to finish it up. Yep.
It is.
Block 12 in the finishing.
Hi, Evelyn. And Vani. So let's see. We have some fun stuff to show you today. So we pulled a couple of items from the show to show you. And we got a manager special. We got a giveaway. I got a great joke.
Great joke.
Great joke. It's a good one today. It is a good one. And Patrick is back tomorrow. So he took a little vacation after the anniversary event. Actually, I took a little vacation after the anniversary event too. I popped over to Vegas for the weekend. And Patrick went the opposite direction. And he went to Florida. But he is back tomorrow. Yeah, I've seen some of the blocks going on. In fact, I think somebody actually finished your quilt early,
yes,
didn't they?
Connie did.
Yes.
Yes, she figured out that last block.
Of course she did.
And did the whole quilt, and it was beautiful.
Yes, it is beautiful. Okay, so let's go ahead and we will get started. So let's go ahead. Should we start with a joke?
Sure, let's start with the joke.
Okay. So this one was sent in to me, and it's really, really funny. Which monofilament thread do you recommend since QS is discontinued? Madeira. So Madeira has a monofilament thread. There is a polyester thread, and it is softer than the nylon thread, which is sometimes the norm on those monofilament threads. So that's the one that I like. Kate, you are frozen. No, I'm quite warm right now. Having one of those. Do I have a plan for a monthly quilt for 2025? Yes, maybe. Not ready to announce it quite yet. I think Paula's kind of got one that she's working on too. So we'll be announcing those real soon. But anyway, here goes. Here is the joke for today. Ralph and Edna. I had an Aunt Edna, by the way.
Did you?
Yes. So, and she could definitely be this person.
Okay, that's awesome.
Ralph and Edna were both patients in a mental hospital. One day, whilst they were walking past the hospital swimming pool, Ralph suddenly jumped into the deep end. He sank to the bottom of the pool and stayed there. Edna promptly jumped in to save him. She swam to the bottom and pulled him out. When the head nurse director became aware of Edna's
Heroic.
Yeah, I can't say that word. Act. She immediately ordered her to be discharged from the hospital, as she was now considered her to be mentally stable. When she went to tell Edna the news, she said, "Edna, I have good news and bad news. The good news is you're being discharged since you were able to rationally respond to a crisis by jumping in and saving the life of the person you love. I've concluded that your act displays sound-mindedness. The bad news is that Ralph hung himself in the bathroom with his bathrobe belt right after you saved him. I'm so sorry, but he's dead." Edna replied, "He didn't hang himself. I put him there to dry. How soon can I go home?" Oh, I just think that's so funny. Let's see, who makes the needle you're using? Ellen, please. So the needles we were using for the Baby Lock Club, Sandra, The one I used was a Schmidt's needle, but Class A also has one too. So Class A or Schmidt's. I'm just going back, making sure that I didn't miss any messages whilst I was reading that long joke. And I think we are good. You like that? Hilarious? I thought it was really funny.
Pretty
funny. Okay. So let's see. Today we have 2 grab bags for you. So we've never done 2 on the same day. So thank you, Sally. I can't take credit for it. It was emailed to me. So I really loved receiving all the emails and the jokes from you guys. So keep them coming. So we have a grab bag. These grab bags are $5 and they have a lot of fabric in them. So we have a regular grab bag or we have a Kimberbell grab bag. So if you want a grab bag, you can ask for a grab bag or you can say a K grab bag and we'll know that it's the Kimberbell one. Or you can just say one of each and then you get one of each. And we do have these up on the on our products on our website for you. We also have a panel that came in, and this panel is a special panel. It is actually a charity panel for Quilts for Kids, I think is what it's called. So this panel is a panel from Quilting Treasures, and this young lady right here, she was 13 years old. She was an artist, a designer, and she started making quilts for started making fabric for Quilting Treasures, and she designed this line of fabric. Isn't this fun?
It's really fun.
Sadly, she did pass from cancer. And Quilting Treasures did decide to go ahead with their fabric line for her, and they are actually donating 50% of the proceeds of this fabric will actually go to the charity Quilts for Kids.
Oh,
so
really
this
sweet.
panel, it's very sweet. This panel, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, but it's actually, you can see the cutout right here. So it would go this way. It's actually a tote bag, so you can see the bottom of the bag where it would be squared up is like that, and then it's got the handles, the instructions, and the handles on there. So it's $11.99 for the panel. We only have 15 panels because that's what came on one of the bolts. So obviously we bought the bolter fabric hoping to support the cause too. This is not online, so this would be done by comment only. So if anybody's interested in one of these panels to help the charity out, we would love to
show the picture of the bag.
Yeah, that's what I just saw there. So there is the finished bag right there.
Yeah, that's really cute, and that's really sweet. And what great fabric for teenagers or young, tweens or whatever.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And all the instruction, everything you need are there. So.
And I'm not sure why everybody else appears to be doing okay. I'm presuming you've gone completely out and gone back in again. Anyway, we do have a few other things to show you, but I think Paula is eager to get sewing
we can
today.
start. Yeah.
Okay.
We can start.
Okay.
All right. So actually, can we take that and go over to the quilt?
We certainly can.
Okay. All right.
Let me turn the camera around. I'm sure you don't want to all see me. Uh-oh. Why can't I turn it around? Let's try there. Okay, now I got you.
All right. Hi, everybody.
And it's not up nice and close like it was on me.
You're not up my nose.
Yes.
And all that. Yeah. Hi, everybody. So we're here. This is block 12.
We're done.
I know, Southern Stars. We decided to end it in November this year because I had enough people contact me to ask if we could end early so they could finish it for Christmas gifts.
Oh.
And of course we can.
Absolutely.
Of course we can. So we are going to do block 12 today, and then after that we'll talk about how you will finish putting it all together.
Okay.
So this is block 12. This is what we're doing. So just like all of the other blocks, we're going to make all the pieces and parts to make this star going around, and then we will make the center. We'll put it all together, and then we'll talk about how you put the whole thing together.
Okay.
So on January 11th, this is when we started, just in case you're new. This is where we started with the original instructions and block 1. We've released a block every month except for the last month or two where we've released a couple of them. So all of the directions are up on our website on the calendar date for each block through the year. And today's instructions include block 12. And then also the final page where we talk about cutting the sashing and the setting stones and the setting blocks and the border and everything. So that's up all on the website on our calendar page for today.
Okay. And the panel is $11.99 for those that just asked.
Oh, okay. Okay. So we're going to go make block 12.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're really short-handed today. So I did bring over the tripod in case I have to desert Paula.
Let's hope we don't.
Let's hope we don't. So I'm going to kind of move this out of the way.
Okay.
And see how far we get.
Okay. All right. All right. So as of all the other blocks, same thing. All the fabric instructions stuff that you need are right there. And then we're going to go down and we're going to make each unit of the block. So the first unit we're going to make is the one that goes around the outside. Okay. If you've done this with us all year, this is the 12th time we've done this. You could probably do it in your sleep.
Okay.
And then we're going to make these corner units here. We'll make these units here, and then we'll put it all together.
Perfect.
Okay. So the first one we're going to make is the flying geese that go around the outside.
Okay.
We're going to use our pink rectangle and our white background squares. And I'm going to turn on my laser. And if you don't have a laser, you can take your white squares. You can draw a line from corner to corner. But if you have a laser, you can just lay this on here. We're going to sew from corner to corner here.
Okay.
It's best to start on the straight edge versus the corner, so your corner doesn't maybe get mangled up and caught up in your feed dogs and stuff. So if you start here and you go from corner to corner, we've made one already, and I'm gonna make 3 more.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
So we do have a giveaway today. And our giveaway was donated to us, but it is one of the cookie bags. So we are going to go ahead and give this to Laura Johns.
Oh, yay, Laura.
So we will hold this in the bag for you, Miss Laura. So whilst Paula is stitching the flying geese there, just want to go over a couple of our upcoming events that we've got going on. So on December 5th and December 6th, we do have a lecture in each of the stores. December 5th will be at the Thornton store, and December 6th will be at the Littleton store. And we have Debbie Homer and DJ Anderson coming in for an all-day lecture. Now, let me tell you, if you have never seen Debbie and DJ, they are so full of information that you will leave with your mind on overload. Debbie is an absolute master in what she presents and how she presents it, and their knowledge of embroidery and stabilizers and sewing techniques is absolutely amazing. It's $49.95, but you do get a gift with attendance. There's going to be a lot of different designs. So she is going to be, or they are going to be talking about every type of technique you could ever imagine. Whether it's stitching with heavy thread, whether it's gathering, whether it is background fill stitches. I mean, just so many different types of applique, fringe work. So all of these different types of techniques. So if you're wanting to brush up on a lot of your different techniques, Debbie and GJ, thank you, Sybil. They are amazing. They are absolutely amazing. So we do have that event coming up at the very beginning of December. That will be our last event for the year.
That sounds amazing.
She's wonderful.
Perhaps I need to call in sick for those days so I can go down to Littleton?
No, one of them's here.
Oh.
So you...
Oh, one's here and one's there.
Yeah, so don't call in sick.
Okay, well, okay.
Because then you'll miss it.
Okay.
And then we also have a 2-day, so that would be a lecture class. We will serve you lunch on that day also. And then we also have a 2-day event, which is our Viking pillow class. We do have a Viking educator coming in for that one. And that one is coming up on November the 21st and 22nd. So you do need to attend both days on that one.
Okay.
And that one is $129.
That's going to be fun. That pillow is amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how they do that cathedral window in the center, I've never done it like that before. It was fun.
Yeah.
It really was easy to do.
It's amazing what they can do in the hoop. You know, considering what they used to just be able to do, just regular sewing and how hard it was.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so we made 4 of these, and now we need to make 4 of these. So I've made 1. So how we start is we start with the peach, and then we're going to sew a triangle to the top and a triangle to the side. And we want to make sure that we have one big, long, straight line there.
It's a large triangle, basically.
Exactly. So I'm just going to flip it, and then I'm going to sew along here, but I'm actually going to flip it, and I'm going to sew along here because I don't want to sew...
Start at the point.
Yeah. And it's okay that you're going to have a little point left over here because that's your 1/4 inch seam.
Great.
You want that little point there. So make sure you line up your 90-degree corners matching.
And sew from the 90 degree.
Right, exactly.
Perfect.
And I'm going to switch my machine. I'm going to take off the laser and I'm going to switch to Q2 to move my needle over to get my 1/4 inch.
So guess what else we got for the anniversary event that was new this year? We got brand new Above and Beyond USB sticks. These are 4 gig USB sticks. They're on a swivel. So I really like the fact that it's on a swivel and it keeps it all nice and together. And these are on sale. I think they're $13.59 for the red USB sticks.
Are they 4 gigs?
They are.
Okay.
Yep. So that was a new, one of the new products we brought in for the anniversary event.
I'm going to press these with the seam allowance going towards the white.
Okay.
Okay. Now we're going to take the other triangle and we're going to sew it to this. I'm going to flip this around like this so that I can just lay this over here.
And again,
I'm starting from the 90-degree corner.
I'm not sure why some people are freezing and some aren't.
You're going to end up with this little point here with your 1/4 inch seam right there.
Perfect.
Oh, yep, got my 1/4 inch.
So we do have a manager special today. And our manager special today is an OESD CD. Has 29 different designs on it. This was actually from 2022. And these are $15. So you get 29 different designs. Basically, they are 50 cents a design. And these stitch out really, really pretty. So there's all of these designs plus 10 more. And I have 2 of these CDs available. You can see in the bottom right corner there that the MSRP is $74.99. And we have them for $15 today. And I have 2 of those available. So the first 2 people, if anybody wants those, can grab those.
Okay, so now I've taken this unit that I just made. I'm going to take these large pink triangles and I'm going to lay them on top and see how that practically is exactly the same.
Perfect.
And I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch all the way down this long edge.
So Miss Billy, yes, you can have one of the CDs. And you're going to make 4 of those squares?
Yep.
Okay.
A total of 4.
And Anita Freeman, you will get the second one. You're very welcome. Thank you. Okay. So tomorrow we are going to be doing mystery.
Woohoo! Okay, I'm going to press these and I'm going to press towards the pink.
Okay. Hi, Miss Verna. Good to see you come on here.
And these squares should measure 4 inches. I already measured the one that I pre-made and I was pretty darn close enough. So I am just going to trim these little tails off here. And these squares should measure 4 inches.
You'll be all caught up just in time for tomorrow, Christine. She says she's all caught up on her mystery.
Oh, nice. Excellent. Okay, so the last unit we have to make is this unit here. It's just sewing the white rectangles to the green rectangles.
I think Patrick could do that unit.
I think he probably could. And then we're done getting ready to get ready and we get to put it all together.
Cool. So today we do have some grab bags that we're talking about. So we have, and these grab bags have a lot of fabric in them. So we have this one, which is the regular grab bag, but then we also have a Kimberbell grab bag. So if you're wanting the Kimberbell grab bag, you can either shop online, or if you put a comment on here, just make sure you put K grab bag, and then we'll know that you want the Kimberbell one. If not, you will be getting the regular grab bag. And then the last thing that we have to show you today that is new is a brand new product from Quilt Select. Are you going to lay all yours out now?
I am going to lay it all out.
I'm going to be quiet whilst you lay out because you're going to talk about it.
Can I move this?
Yes, you may, because I don't think we're going to need it. Just pull towards you. There you go.
Okay. So now we're going to lay them all out. You
Do you always
guys,
start with the
this
center?
is like special because it's our last block of the year.
When you lay them out, do you always start
No,
with the center?
I don't. I start with the top row.
Uh-oh, we're making more room. Hi, Connie.
I can't believe we're on the last block. I really kind of can't.
Doesn't feel like it was 12 blocks ago that you started.
Doesn't.
I like your colors on this block.
I do too.
I love it.
I do too. I
Yeah.
really, really do. I love this whole quilt. I really do.
Are you excited to get this one like put together and quilted and stuff?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited to get going on next year's too. I'm pretty excited about that one.
Have you started next year's?
I have. I've got I've got 8 of the 12 blocks done.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yep. So I'll work on that over the next few weeks. I think it's going to be really pretty. I really, really love it so far.
Okay, I think I know what you're going to do.
Look good?
Yeah,
Okay.
it looks good to me.
All right, so we're just going to sew each of the rows together.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so
Talk away.
talk away.
So we got a brand new product from Quilters Select. So for any of you ladies, actually these blades, so it's a new blade, but these blades will actually work on like ultra cutters too. So these are 45 millimeter. There is a pack of 3. This is the Quilters Select, and they are the titanium blades. So the titanium blades last a lot longer than a regular blade. They'll be less prone to getting that little tiny nick in them. They're just made of a much hardier substance. So we do have these online. It's a 3-pack for $24.99. So if you do a lot of cutting, it might be a good investment to change one of your cutters out with the titanium blades and see how you love them. I put one in at home and I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Matt, could you make me a piece of typing paper and a pen?
You need a piece of paper and a pen?
Yeah, like a piece of typing paper or printer paper.
Typing paper.
Printer paper.
Paula just asked for a piece of typing paper.
Just aged myself, I think, a little bit. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Were you a typist? Were you...
I took typing in school and in high school and in college.
Did
Yeah,
you?
So just, I don't know where that came from, but
Me too.
My mom told me to call 999 yesterday.
I told my son to call 999 the other day. And sometimes I just wonder where the wording or the terminology comes out. But 999 in England is 911. So I don't know I don't know why I suddenly said that. It's kind of weird. It's been 30 years. And why would I suddenly say 999?
Why would you tell him to call 911?
I can't remember what it was over.
I don't remember what we were talking about.
We were talking about something, and I said, well, they should have just called 999.
Oh, okay, so you weren't telling him to call 911.
No,
There was
it
no
wasn't.
emergency.
He didn't have an emergency.
Okay.
We were talking about somebody that was in a situation that maybe could have called for an
Okay,
emergency.
gotcha. Oh, that's funny. 999. Yeah. Huh, interesting.
So I did a lot of secretarial stuff at school. I did shorthand.
Same. Yeah,
you?
I did. I was really good at it.
Which shorthand did you do?
I did not know there was more than one.
Yeah.
Is there like
I did Pittman 2000.
British and English or something?
British and English.
I don't know. I did what they taught. I loved it. I loved shorthand, and I was really good at it.
Yeah, I liked doing it too. And I did a lot of typing. A lot of typing.
Yeah, same here. I learned how to type on like typewriters that weren't electric. Like the old
like
black
the ones that have like the hand thing to do the carriage return.
Ching. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, the typewriter that I learned on, I'm going to show you how old I am now, had like the little black keys that used to come up and hit the carbon.
Same.
And when you made a mistake, you had to like get the whiteout stuff, and you had to like put it onto the carbon copies, and then you had to blow on it till it got dry, and then retype it.
I think we were in school the same years.
I think we were.
Because we were born the same year.
I know, but I was schooled in England, and you were schooled out here, obviously, but maybe,
same. Yeah.
maybe there wasn't a whole lot of difference in the technology.
you had to push really hard because they weren't.
Oh, yeah.
They were, yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. And then when we got to high school, half the typewriters were electric and half were the old kind. So it was always like who could get to class soonest to get the electric ones.
Oh, we never had any electric in our store, in
Oh.
our school.
We did in high school. Yeah.
No.
Wow, those were the days, man.
Yeah. Would you want to go back?
I don't think so. I mean, those were good days. But I don't think I'd want to go back. You?
I don't know. There's parts of it I would like to go back for, to relive. I'd like to have my kids little again.
Yeah. Yeah. Those seemed like such hard times, but looking back, they were way less hard than they are when they're older.
And it always seemed like it was forever.
Yeah.
You know, like parenting, when you're doing it, it seemed like it was an eternity.
Yeah.
And then when you look back at how quickly it
It
happened.
went so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really loved when my kids were young enough that they weren't in school, so we could just kind of do our thing all day long, you know, not have schedules, not have to, you know, get up at dark 30 to get them to the bus stop, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't think you could get to 100 words per minute with 1 or 2 fingers these days, Billy.
Okay, we're almost done. Okay, this is the last row of the last block of 2024.
Oh no, you're getting all emotional. Oh my, she's getting all emotional on me. It is so pretty.
I hope that some of you have learned something new and enjoyed the process of learning something new. I really, really do. And just enjoyed the process. I hope you have, for sure.
It's the enjoyment that counts, right?
Absolutely. Okay. The last square of the last row of the last block.
Oh my gosh, Paula. Oh, what are you going to do in 2025? It's the first row of the first block of the...
I could do that. Okay, so now we're just going to press. And like all the other blocks, all of these arrows show you which way to press. So all of your seams are going opposite of each other. So when you sew the rows together, all the seams nest and you get really nice, pretty points.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm waiting.
Okay.
So Paula has great directions that shows you all of your pressing instructions too. You probably know which way to press these without even looking, don't you?
Yep. Okay, So, one thing that can help when you sew these rows together is if it makes you nervous. All of these seams have been pressed opposites, but if it makes you nervous to sew rows and seams together, you can always use these purple magic fork pins.
Oh, those are Patrick's.
Yes, yes. And you just stick them in so that there's one pin on each side of your seam line.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and press these. It doesn't really matter which way you press the seams on these.
Okay. Look at that.
Okay, 2 more seams.
Whoa.
And then we will talk about how you finish it.
Okay.
Okay, last one. Last seam of the last block.
Whoa, we're almost there.
Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum.
Perfect. Now you're going to do final pressing.
Final pressing.
Okay.
Okay.
Love it.
It's a good block to finish on because it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Goes
it
pretty
is,
quick.
It is a nice one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go talk about finishing, but we
Okay.
need to walk over to the quilt.
We're going to walk over to the quilt.
right. So now you should have a lovely stack of blocks. Look at these blocks.
How big are all the blocks?
They're 14 inches finished.
Okay.
14 inches finished.
Okay.
So you're going to lay them out. Lay them out until you're happy with the layout, with the colors. It doesn't
And you
matter.
just did them to spread out the different colors.
I did.
Okay,
And
so
the-
there's
and the
not
design.
like one up up in the top left corner.
Right.
Okay.
And that's just the order we did them in.
Okay.
Right, yeah. So then what you're going to do, according to your directions, is you're going to take the rest of your background fabric, and you are going to cut 31 2 1/4 by 14 1/2 inch strips.
Okay.
So what I did is the width of fabric, I cut 2 14 1/2 inch strips, and then I cross cut them going this way 2 1/4.
Okay.
That was the best use of fabric that I found.
Okay.
So then what you're going to do is you're going to sew a strip in between and at the end of each row of blocks.
Okay.
So you're going to have 4 rows with a strip in between each block and at the end of each block.
Okay.
Then from your fabrics, from all of your colors, you're going to have lots of little mishmash pieces.
Okay.
So from these pieces, you're going to cut 20 2 1/4 inch squares. These are going to be your setting squares. So you have your rows of blocks. So you have your sashing in a block, sashing, block, sashing, block, sashing. You're going to make 4 of those rows. Then you're going to make 5 sashing rows where you're going to have a colored square, then a sashing strip, and a colored square, and a sashing strip.
I got
All
it.
the way across. And you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. So you're going to have your row blocks and your sashing blocks. Or sashing. You're going to have your row, your block
block
rows,
And your,
and your sashing rows. Then you're going to sew them together, alternating. And that's what's going to give you this fun design, because these are the corners of your blocks.
Yeah, I just realized that.
Yeah. And then you've got this sashing strip in here, and that's what's going to give this really
So when they're
pretty.
doing this, they really probably want to make sure that this isn't one of these 4 colors, correct?
Right.
Yes.
So you're really going to kind of want to lay them out as you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep. And so you can do that on the floor, on a design wall, or whatever. But you can always take and flip a sashing row over if you end up having a color that's duplicated or whatever.
Absolutely.
So
I
that's
love
how
it.
you get kind of this kind of cool
Yeah.
secondary design in there. Okay.
Yeah, I thought that was like a whole strip with like a 9 patch, but it's not.
Right. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. It's just taking your corner squares from each block
And making it into that one
adding
strip.
that sashing strip, and that's what makes that cool 9-inch.
Perfect.
Okay. And then you're going to take in here it talks about cutting out your border fabrics. And you're just going to cut your border fabrics. You're going to sew on the sides, and you're going to sew on the top and the bottom.
Perfect. So if they want to make it bigger, they could add like colored borders and stuff. Yes.
Exactly. You could add an inner border, you could add a white border, to make it float. You could do, there's lots of things you could do.
And
to
we
make it bigger.
do still have some of this outside border fabric
do.
if anybody wants some, right?
We do. Yep. we do.
Perfect.
Yep. So then I was going to show you my quilting real quick.
Oh,
Because I
yeah.
had some people ask. So I'm going to show you here, and then I'm going to draw it on paper.
Okay.
So I just did a real simple, I didn't want it just to do a meander. I wanted to do something a little bit special. So I just did kind of big loopies.
Okay.
Big loops. So I'm just going to draw it on paper so you can see what I did.
Okay.
So I like to do, when I do loops, I like to kind of do them like inside the curve. And you can do big ones, you can do little ones. And it's just real easy to kind of travel your way around if I need
It's
to.
really easy with pen and paper. It's just not so easy with needle and thread.
Right. But just practice. Get some paper and pencil and draw it, practice it. Get a piece of scrap fabric and a piece of scrap batting. And they don't all have to be the same size. Don't try to make them the same size, because then if you don't make them the same size, it won't make you crazy.
Okay.
Try to make them not the same size, like you did it on purpose, so that when they're not all the same size, you planned it that way. And you can really kind of make them big and spread them out. But that's just a fun, different way to quilt it besides just meandering.
Okay. We'll see you
Okay.
all in 2025. Thanks everybody for joining us today, and we will speak to you all soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.